Am I wrong for asking my brother's girlfriend not to attend an upcoming family dinner? Okay, so I have 4 siblings and my 2 brothers have refused to talk to each other mostly for the past 2 years. I'm getting married in a few months and there's literally 1 week before then they will all be in town and my brothers agreed that we could have a family dinner and they both come and be on their best behavior. The thing is, my brother, Owen's only stipulation is that my brother's Greg girlfriend, Johnny, doesn't come. The reason Owen doesn't want Greg's girlfriend there is because part of the reason they haven't talked is due to Owen's wife Tracy being very upset with Johnny still over an episode when Tracy had my youngest niece. Johnny babysat for their other child, and they had apparently made arrangement that Johnny would continue to do so for the newborn as well after Tracy was done with maternity leave. However, there was some kind of miscommunication there, where Johnny thought that Owen and Tracy were going to be paying her more money, and Owen and Tracy thought she'd be getting the same rate. So a week before Tracy gave birth, Johnny literally just stopped showing up without giving them time to find anyone else. This kind of blew up into this huge fight that involved other pre-existing tension with Owen and Greg. I thought this seemed fair because Tracy is technically now part of the family while Johnny isn't. However, Greg got very mad about this because he said Johnny is his family at this point, and if she can't come then Tracy shouldn't be able to either. Problem is that Owen will refuse to come if Tracy can't, but Greg said he'd come anyway, so I asked him if he could just take one for the team this once, and now he's really mad at me. So am I the asshole? Honestly, for them not to talk for this long, I thought it would have been a lot more drastic, but this is stupid, in my opinion. And it's between the girlfriends. Like, why are the brothers? I've heard so many stories of this where brothers don't talk to each other because of their wives, and I hate that. My sister-in-law tried to hijack my son's birthday party for her gender reveal. My husband and I have 2 children, both boys, now age 11 and 14. My husband's younger sister now has 3 children, age 7, female, 5 male, and 3 male. The year my youngest son was turning 4, he asked for a birthday party. He was not in school and so he did not know anyone but family, and there were no children other than his brother that were able to attend. Luckily, his favorite people in the world are Grandpa and Grandma, Dad's parents. Grandma is like a big kid. She's super fun and energetic. She acts much like a kid herself and my boys adore her. I knew they were very busy, so I asked them several months in advance if they would be able to attend his birthday party. The party was to be on his birthday. This is important. Being the wonderful grandparents they are, they agreed and requested that time off from their jobs. We also invited all close by family, including my sister-in-law, the entitled mother of the story. Months go by and it's now about a week and a half before my son's big day. I've bought the decorations, planned the menu, and pumped him up. I like to sing a final countdown song as I prepare breakfast in the morning. One afternoon, I received a call from my sister-in-law who was about to find out the sex of her baby. She's pregnant with baby number 1. She wants to plan a gender reveal party, but she's called her friends and family and discovered that most work and can't attend without several weeks' notice from their jobs. The only day everyone just so happens to have off is my son's birthday. Would I be willing to move my son's birthday party to another day so she can have her party? At this point, it may bear mentioning that she already has 3 baby showers planned out and has asked me to make the food out of pocket for one of the showers. Most people being asked to attend her gender reveal party were already attending multiple baby showers for her. I am pretty friendly and passive. This caught me very off guard. I tried to gently tell her that my son was looking forward to this and we've planned it for months, which is why everyone had it off from work. She feigns sympathy but still urged me to please move my son's birthday party to a time that everyone could later attend and let her have this open day for her party for her first baby while you've already had 2. Besides, my youngest son loves babies and would want to go to her party too. He could still come to my party and see everyone he loves and then get to do it all over again when everyone can request time off. I didn't have time to gather a response as she steamrolled over me saying, "Okay, if they want to go, I won't make them come to your son's party, but I can't go to your party. We have plans." And her responding, "Thanks." I was angry. She had pulled this kind of thing with other people before. I have tons of stories. But she had always really loved my boys and never tried this with me, or not to this extreme way. I didn't know how to react other than to vent to my husband, which is her brother, who wasn't surprised at all and said not to worry and that their dad would set her straight. Funny enough, I was talking to my husband when I saw him, father-in-law, calling the phone. I answered and he said that my sister-in-law had told him that I had no problem with her hijacking my son's birthday and that I had insisted she have the party and everyone go to that one instead of my son's. He said if this was true that they would attend her party, but he would way rather go to the party of my son. He'd already gotten presents and they were excited about celebrating a kid that's already here on his big day. I very happily told him that I was never going to cancel his birthday or make him sit through someone else's party on his big day. I mean, he's 4 and I've been counting down for him every morning. What kind of monster would I be? I said that I had told sister-in-law that people could go to that if they preferred, but that we wouldn't be attending. He said that sounds about right and told her he's going to my son's party since he requested time off for that, and if she wants another party another day to give him notice. canceled or never really organized the party, and then talked about me behind my back to anyone that would listen for years to follow. You know, gender reveal parties can happen at any time during your pregnancy. You don't have to have it at a certain time frame, right? That date didn't work for you. Okay, wait months later. I'm not responsible for your poor planning. Why would you want to hijack a 4-year-old birthday party? Have you no sympathy?
Am I the asshole for reporting my boss after he forced me to attend a meeting despite knowing that I was in labor?
Hey! What?
I, 28 female, have been working at my company for 5 years, and until recently, I loved my job. I was 8 months pregnant when this happened, about a month ago, so I started having contractions while at work. Since I was not due yet, I thought it was just Braxton Hicks, because they weren't that intense. Just a week before that, I'd experienced Braxton Hicks and went to the hospital, but it was a false alarm. This time, I was still working when the contractions started in the morning, and I again thought it was just Braxton Hicks. I didn't want to cause a scene, so I tried to keep working. Last time I went to the hospital, my boss, John, 45 male, made sarcastic comments about me being overly dramatic and joked about how I should schedule my labor around important meetings. I have social anxiety and tend to take people's crap without pushing back, so I just took it. By noon, the contractions were getting stronger and closer together, and I knew it was real labor. I needed to go to the hospital. I informed John that I was in labor and I needed to leave. He rolled his eyes and said, quote, "Just stay for the meeting at 1 p.m. It's crucial, and we need you here." I was stunned. I reiterated that I was in active labor and needed to go to the hospital immediately. John snapped back, quote, "It's just a meeting. Sit through it, and then you can go. It's not like the baby is going to pop out right now." Feeling pressured and scared for my job, I reluctantly stayed.
She stayed.
The meeting lasted an excruciating 2 hours. By the end of it, I was in so much pain that I could barely walk. I finally left and drove myself to the hospital, where I was admitted immediately. My husband got there 30 to 40 minutes later because he was on the other side of town. My daughter was born later that evening, thankfully healthy despite the delay. When I told my husband what had happened, he was furious and insisted we report John to HR. I was hesitant because I didn't want to jeopardize my job, but I agreed it was the right thing to do. HR was appalled and assured me that they would handle the situation. John has since been suspended pending an investigation. The real kicker? During the investigation, it came out that John had emailed the entire office while I was in labor, complaining about my, quote, lack of commitment and making fun of me for overreacting.
Oh, no.
He even implied that I was using my pregnancy as an excuse to get out of work.
Ooh.
Now my coworkers are pissed at me, saying I overreacted and that I should have just sucked it up for the sake of the company. I've even received messages.
What company is this?
Drop
Is
the
this the
name.
White House? Like, what's going on? It can't be that important.
I've even received messages and emails from a few colleagues saying that I've ruined John's career and that he was just doing his job under pressure. One even said that I should have toughed it out like their wife did during her pregnancy.
Uh-oh.
The stress from this whole ordeal has made it difficult to enjoy my first few days with my newborn. I'm constantly second-guessing myself and feeling guilty, despite knowing I did what was best for my baby and me. To make matters worse, the interim manager who took over from John is even worse. He's made it clear to everyone that he resents my actions and has made my return to work unbearable. Now that my maternity leave is over, I find myself isolated at work. People give me side eyes and whisper about me. During lunch, I'm alone because no one wants to sit with the troublemaker.
What?
It feels like high school all over again.
That was his high school?
I dread going back into work each day and facing the hostility and judgment. I never imagined that doing what was right for my health and my baby's well-being would turn my colleagues against me like this. It's gut-wrenching to feel so isolated and vilified for simply standing up for myself and my rights. I cry most of the time when I come home, and sometimes even in the office washroom when someone passes and says a comment. In the worst moments, I get mad at my husband and blame him for making me tell HR, even though I know he did the right thing. He's so sweet and never takes it to heart. I apologize soon after, but he always says he wasn't even mad and that he understands how I'm feeling, especially since I'm just 1 month postpartum. He says I should take action and complain, but I don't want to make things even worse. He also says he can't see me like this and that I should just quit because it's hurting him. I don't know what to do. I'm just such a sensitive and emotional person in general, and now it's been worse since giving birth. So, am I the asshole for reporting my boss after he forced me to attend a meeting despite knowing I was in labor?
Girl, suck it up. I'm sorry. That's my hot take. She needs to suck it up and complain. Suck it up and quit. Leave. Your husband can support you. Leave.
My 40 female husband, 45 male, Jake, is a very loud person. He does nothing quietly. He talks loudly, stomps when he walks, slam doors, etc. But he also groans loudly, yawns loudly, grunts loudly, makes overly exaggerated sounds of struggle and exhaustion no matter what he is doing. He will be taking his socks off and it's ooh, woo, ga, oh, every damn time.
Oh, that will piss me off.
He doesn't do any of this out of anger. I've talked to him countless times about being quieter. He doesn't think he's loud, but he really is. Until I met Jake, I didn't realize anyone can yawn louder than a drill sergeant yells. I've explained to him it's so loud it feels painful to me. I have an auditory disorder and I often struggle with noise levels where I get headaches and nausea. To wrap this up, Jake was being what seemed to be louder than his usual loud earlier today, and I snapped and told him to, for once in his life, just be quiet. Obviously, that didn't go well, and now he's mad at me. But he's also making it a point to prove how quiet he can be, and that it's just me making things up when I say he's too loud. So, am I the asshole?
You know he's a loud man, so why did you marry him?
I was thinking, how did they get this far?
Why did you, yeah, y'all been together for so long. When you were dating him, you heard dum, 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 ooh.
I
You
wouldn't
heard
be
all
able to
that.
do it.
Right. So
That was my thought too. Like, how did they get so far?
I don't think she's an asshole for that. I think she could have communicated it better, but homeboy was doing it for too long. Sometimes you just get to a point where you just got to snap. And until you snap, then they're going to get the point. She told him before, like, you're being too loud. And he doesn't listen. Jake, you don't listen. So sometimes you got to tell them straight to their face.